All right, on this video, we're going to go ahead and talk about a situation where an animal control officer was serving some sort of paperwork and was attacked by a dog. So the little portion here is pretty quick, so I was going to play it just so you could see what happened. So, as you can see, pretty fast how that happened. Uh, the officer, I believe, was bitten in the incident, and the scene turned very quick, chaotic very quickly. When you're knocking on anybody's door, you do give yourself spacing, because if the person is standing right behind there with some sort of a gun, shotgun, right through the door, you're going to get hit. So whenever you're doing a door knock, doorbell ring, you're going to step off like he did to the side. And you're going to have also your feet planted ready to run, because you don't know what's on the other side of the door, as unfortunately the officer found out. So another tip too is the steps here. So let's just say this step actually went out to roughly where the officer's foot is at. You want to still make sure to give yourself enough space, but actually step down onto the flat floor, or make sure that you're kind of maybe like 1 foot on, 1 foot off, so you already know where you can turn and run. Because if you're standing all the way up here and that dog comes out, you step back because it's a moment of panic and you fall back, then you are very vulnerable at that point. So by having your footing ready to go, so you have to think a little less in that half a second, as you saw in the video that he got attacked, it could save you. So when I'm doing my training, when I'm training the animal control officers, the other thing I have them do is you never, ever, ever go up to anybody's door without something in your hands. In this situation, the officer only had paperwork. So there was nothing that he could do to put something between himself and the dog when it came out. The minimum thing that I have officers carry when they are going up to a door is the metal, thick aluminum clipboards. And here's a photo of that, just so you know what they look like if you don't know. They also make your life so much easier to keep your paperwork in so that it doesn't fly away. But if he had at minimum that in his hands, and again, this isn't to slam the officer, I mean, you know he got hurt. It's one of those things where we're trying to take the information and make it useful, and use what happened, unfortunately for him, and try to protect somebody else in the future. So again, I'm not slamming the officer. It's just we're all going to learn off of a mistake. So if you at least had the metal clipboard when this situation came out, as you can kind of see the dog, you could have easily put the clipboard towards the dog's mouth, having his hands back. And the clipboard's a standard size clipboard, so there's a lot of space, and let the dog bite that. The dog just wants to start chewing on something, kind of just that reaction of protecting the house. And again, that's still no excuse for the dog attacking, because if there's a dog like that in the neighborhood, it's a danger. But in this situation, the dog would have started chewing on the clipboard, giving him enough space to back up and hopefully not get hurt. The other thing too, which I probably would have said would have been the better thing to have with him, is the catch pole. Now, sometimes people do get upset having the catch pole there. They think you're coming to take the dog when you're not, because you're just setting up for this type of scenario. Had he just had the catch pole, in his arm, holding in his hand, just kind of sitting next to him, or even put a little bit behind him, sometimes it won't be as obvious that you have it. But this is the perfect scenario where he would have just been able to put the end of the catch pole right into the dog's mouth, let it chew it. Maybe the dog would have bit too hard, it hurt, and then it would have ran off the other direction. It's just something to give you some time and some space to kind of get your bearings and get out of that negative situation. But Something that simple as a metal clipboard could have changed everything here. Not to mention now that you do have the problem of one or two guns now pointed towards you because the officers are trying to save you from getting attacked. And then you also have now the second officer over here that at the end of the clip, the police officer actually shoots the dog or shoots at the dog, which easily could have hit his partner. And that's the last thing that they want to be dealing with is a police report for shooting and shooting one of their own by accident. So this is where we have to, as animal control, make sure that we step up and have all these, little parameters taken care of the best we can. Sure, we can't prepare for every situation. This is the nature of the nature of the job is that we're going to get a lot of unpredictable stuff. And as long as we can try to prepare for that unpredictability, it'll lower the chances of us getting hurt or being put in a really bad situation. So that's where I'll cut it off for this video. You know, be prepared. Make sure that you have something to protect yourself when you're going to houses for investigations. At minimum, the clipboard. At better is the catch pole, but I do know how awkward the catch pole can be to be carried around while you're just doing a simple investigation. But, you know, we all have to learn from any mistakes we make just so we can all get better. And, I hope the animal control officer made a full recovery after this.